we shift gears and go to hockey because everybody loves hockey.
No doubt, everybody does love hockey, that's for sure. Now, before I get to the free agent signing, Scotty, this just came down from the league, and this is probably going to cause some problems everywhere because people wanted these guys banned for life. Stan Bowman, Joel Quenneville, Al MacIsaac, who, of course, were all part of the Chicago Blackhawks hierarchy and front office during the awful sexual assault situations that happened there during their Stanley Cup championship back in the early 2010s. They were banned by the NHL, if you remember, Scotty, by Gary Bettman. Since all that came to light, what was that now? I'd say 2.5 years ago, somewhere in that area.
At least.
The NHL has announced that all three are eligible to re-seek employment in the NHL. So Quenneville and Bowman and MacIsaac are eligible to be hired by any teams beginning July 10th. They can be hired back in the league.
Now, who was the coach that just got fired, like right before the draft, right? Wasn't there a coach that was let go right before? Was it the Columbus coach? Or no, yeah, it was the guy that Don Waddell took over for that team, right?
Correct.
They didn't hire anybody yet. They should hire Joel Quenneville right now.
I would bet that somebody will hire Joel. Now you're right. It's happened a little late in the cycle, clearly, and I think there's some teams, Scotty, that just simply won't hire him or any of these guys just for the potential media blowback or the optics of it. But it will happen at some point. If it's not immediately when they're officially reinstated on July the 10th, next year or in season, if somebody gets chopped, I think it's very possible.
Well,
especially for Quenneville.
I think Quenneville is a really good coach, and I think he, fair enough, lost his mind with that whole situation, and it was bad. It was a bad scene. What happened with the sexual assaults of all these players? It's horrific, but he wasn't sleeping with them. Okay, so he got blamed for it, but he's not the one that was doing it. He didn't stop it, right? So this is another one of those situations why the coach has to go down with the ship. Now, I'll say this about Bowman. He comes from a lineage, a family, his name and his, history of his family and his success. He is really good at running teams. And again, they had this massive sex scandal and horrible stories of assault, rape, and everything else. It's awful what happened. But again, and I know this sounds feeble, but he's not the one that was sleeping with him. He wasn't doing it. He was in charge, so he had to go down too. But if you want someone, frankly, that knows how to win Stanley Cups, and that goes for both of them, Quenneville and Bowman. Now, this other guy no one's ever heard of, so he might have trouble finding work. I don't believe for 1 minute Bowman and Quenneville are going to have that much difficulty finding work because those two guys have their name on multiple Stanley Cups.
They certainly do. That's for sure. Columbus has not hired a coach, but remember this as well with Columbus. They hired Babcock last year, who was coming off not having a job for a while for some question, now totally different situations, etc. And they had to fire him 2 months into the job. I highly doubt that they're going to want to potentially go down that road again. I would think Quenneville is more, Scotty, when somebody starts bad, like Edmonton did this year, or like a few other teams. You could see him in November, December, probably get hired to come off the street and try to turn a team around mid-season.
All
right, let's get to.
I think you're right, and I also would add that I don't believe, honestly, that he would want that job because that's how bad they suck. I don't think he could turn them around. That's another. You know what that is? That's the, frankly, in my opinion, that's the Leavenworth of the NHL. I'm sorry, they've never done anything ever. They don't matter. No one wants to play there. I still, for the life of me, Mike, and you and I love hockey. You cannot, for the life of me, explain how that kid hockey, Johnny Hockey, whatever his name is, why he chose there to go play hockey. Like, honestly, like, this guy's from New Jersey, isn't he? Like, the Devils have 3 Stanley Cups. They're sold out every game. You go play in Ohio? I mean, honestly, like, all the people in Ohio, I'm glad you don't have to pay high taxes and your groceries are less than mine. And you got Ohio State football and you have nothing else.
Still very puzzling as to why Gaudreau did that.
That hockey team
a couple
sucks.
Years ago during the they
suck.
do indeed. I thought, Scotty, that Jake Guentzel going to Tampa, 7 years, $9 million per year, was going to be probably the biggest story of the day in free agency. But I actually think Nashville, with all of their moves, kind of trumps it a little bit. Stamkos, Marchessault, and Brady Shea all signed with the Nashville Predators. Stamkos got 4 at $8 million per. Marchessault 5 at $5.5 per. Shea 7 at $7 million per. Talk about rehauling your team on July 1st. What a day for the Predators.
Well, listen, Carver High, this is what I have to say about Guentzel. I loved Jake Guentzel, and he won multiple Stanley Cups with the Pittsburgh Penguins. But I truly believe the reason he's so good is Sidney Crosby. And I am telling you, when he went and played this year in Carolina, he had a couple of goals in the playoffs that were decent, of some level of, wow, that was a good goal. That was a big goal right there. But he had about 2 or 3 of them. The reason why that guy got paid today, he should call up Sidney Crosby and go, thanks for everything, because I'm nothing without you. I honestly don't believe he's that good. I think he's a great player when he played with Crosby and Malkin and Letang, and when they were on top of the world, winning back-to-back Stanley Cups, and he was, and Hornquist and all of them, that he's got the fruit of that labor right now in his hands. All that money he got today is because of Pittsburgh. He never did jack in Carolina, and he ain't carrying the Lightning to anything by himself. I'm telling you that much right now, and you know it.
A couple more. Let me give you the rest of these NHL signings. Seattle spent a decent amount of money today on a couple guys who won cups the last few years. Of course, Brandon Montour was a big part of the Florida Panther Cup this year on defense. He gets 7 years, 7.1 per from the Kraken, and Chandler Stevenson, who was part of the Vegas Golden Knights last year when they won the Cup, 7 years, $6.25 million per. Just my opinion, Scotty, I felt like the Chandler Stevenson, giving him 7 years was probably, I'd say, at the top of the most outrageous contracts that were handed out today on the NHL side. He's a good player, but 7 for 6.2. Let's calm down, Chandler Stevenson. Wasn't exactly Jack Eichel on the Knights the last couple of years. Like, let's relax.
Like, I would give you Marchessault, and I'll give you Eichel, and I agree with you. There is no way, I mean, that I'm giving that guy, I cannot believe, and I got to be honest with you, I got a problem with Montour's deal too. I mean, let's calm down here. Yeah. He's another guy, and let's just be clear. I think he's good, but he's another guy that was playing in a system that made him seem really good. And when he ain't playing in that system and he's playing in that crappy Seattle system, let's face facts, they don't matter either. And he's going to be exposed, and they're going to be booing for the money they're paying him. I mean, honestly, how many goals do you think he'll score in Seattle? Cut it in half of what he did in Florida.
No doubt. The Panthers lose another member of their Stanley Cup winning team, Ryan Lomberg, 2 years to the Calgary Flames, $2 million per as well. The Canucks and the Bruins basically traded Jacob DeBrusk and Elias Lindholm. DeBrusk goes to Vancouver, 7 years, 5.5 per. Lindholm to Boston, 7 years, 7.75 he got. He got over $7 million, Scotty, from the Bruins. So Lindholm and DeBrusk. Maybe they can buy each other's houses, Scotty, in Vancouver and Boston too, since they're just swapping areas.
But I think that the Bruins win that deal. I think Lindholm is a better player, and at that price, look at the price. Am I right? It's 4.75. Is that what you're telling me?
7.75 for Lindholm.
All right, so that's $7. So he got more money
instead of the
I'm
4.
seeing 4. Yeah. I'm seeing a different number. So
yeah.
he is a better player. He's worth more money. But when I saw the number, the first number I saw was like, Jesus, that's like a blue light special.